So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Match Really alongside my critique and partner in crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello, hello, hello. And this is the 100th episode -2.
Yes. We are almost there, guys. We almost reached that big 100 where we talk about Beers, Beats, and Bailey.
Yeah.
Not too sure what we're going to be talking about at that moment, but yeah,
Right.
just really excited to reach that milestone.
Nice.
And quickly on that subject of that, because for me, I have to be a little bit self-critical of what it is I'm doing. And for me, I mean, I love what it is I'm doing here. I really do. I mean, how else could I reach that far? However, I don't want to be the kind of Don Quixote-esque character where I'm just telling myself, yes, this is great, and I'm in my bubble, and I love what I'm doing, but then outside of that bubble, it's like, okay, you're not really doing things the right way. For me, so I just need to develop and grow, I mean, how else would I get better at this? So I gladly ask you folks out there who's listening, if you guys could just more or less leave like a message, just let us know, just based off of this episode here, if this is your first time hearing this, and the others that you may have heard before, just feel free to let us know how we could make this episode better. You know what I mean? Whether it's the type of shows that we talk about, whether it's the format, whatever it is. So I don't want it to just be me and my ideas or Ricardo and his ideas. I want it to be you guys as well. So yeah, feel free to let us know how we can make this show here better.
Right.
So all that aside, now we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Ricardo, you have some things you want to talk about.
Yeah. So we had to just talk about just little things in the general opening system because again, Beers, Beats, and Bailey is a show that hasn't rise to prominence so much because it's such a dangerous field and arbitrary and randomness of the nature of the internet, and you get to see that in full swing in the last week or so. The last week or so from time this recording has been what I call the utter implosion of a very, very known and famous website on the internet that is known as thatguywiththeglasses.com.
Yes. Nice little segue, by the way. I love that.
It's utterly shocking how what's going on here. So
yeah, what is going on actually?
Basically, for a long time, thatguywiththeglasses.com has had a little contentiousness to what's going on, and well, in tandem and dovetailing with the nature of, well, for lack of a better term, the Me Too movement. What has happened is that some of the creators of thatguywithglasses.com pretty much come out against the leadership and the head of the system, most notably Doug Walker, Mike Mushrode, and Rob Walker. All three of them have found themselves into some serious situation, but not necessarily Doug himself, most notably Mike Mushrode and some other higher ups. And there's a lot of really, really unfortunate and salacious backstory in which I don't need to get into. Just talking about just the utter incompetence and mismanagement of the site. And then, the big mistake they did, which was this complete half/non-apology they put out with respect to how these people were treated. Most notably, the person leading the charge against them was one of my favorite people on the site, a woman by the name of Oscura Lupa. I forgot her real name. She had one of the coolest approaches to story, who reviews the approach of the show, and then you find out a lot of stuff in terms of how badly treated a lot of these people were, how largely incompetent Doug himself is, and this is something I want to talk about in particular, why Doug was a problem.
Right.
And then I'm not going to get into all of the really nasty bits involving Spoonie and all of those guys. I need to do that. I just want to talk about just the development of That Guy Glasses and what not to do. Or at least the mistakes that need to be made. And you understand why it is that stuff evolved this way, especially his relationship with YouTube. We know all about that. We remember all of that.
Of course.
The whole way as the fair use movement, all of that stuff. His own website, how to undermine just power and attention in the nature of the show. It's his most popular character, his most popular show. This is the character of the nostalgia critic. And when the first red flag, I'll say, is when Lindsay Ellis and her clique left. right? So
Right.
when Lindsay Ellis came on, she was literally playing a character called the Nostalgic, which was the female equivalent of him. That was a joke, that was the in-joke, but it was kind of serious as well, because Doug's, what you're starting to learn is that Doug's in persona seems to line up a lot with his real persona, which is a little shocking.
Kind of not surprised by
right,
that, yeah.
which is kind of shocking and disturbing on its own level. You would think that somebody that could understand the material and be so self-aware would like not be that self-aware.
Yeah.
So his method acting carried to the fullest degree. Very unfortunate, I think. Secondly, what happened? So I think this is what I noticed happened. So when Lindsay came on, she started doing reviews, and look, we know why. Lindsay is well educated. She has, at this point, she has her master's in film. She is a very, very far ahead in terms of the material. If you actually see her current stuff, it's just simply brilliant and really well done. And at the time it showed. She had her clique, which was what we know now as the Che Apocalypse group.
Right.
This is, I think, the guy who does Browse Hell High. That's Kyle Colgren, I think.
Right.
She had a couple other people. Oh, the guy who does the music. That's kind of part of her clique as well. And yeah, pretty much they were in head and shoulders in terms of analysis better than Doug. Doug had okay analysis, but it was still a schlubby everyday man kind of analysis.
Yeah.
It wasn't educated, and a lot of people appreciate that in its own way. But guys like me actually prefer Lindsay's approach. You really want a genuinely studied and educated approach on what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. With the fact that we're talking about like old films or recent films. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, in the case of Doug is just the everyday man approach to things. But the problem with Doug is that he started falling into that weird trap of being, there's a kind of working bad faith that's happened with these kind of cynical people. So he's cynical, but he needs to be contrively cynical. So he had to knock things on a peg for no good reason. The critiques are really bad, and it could kind of work if it was funny. So I think one of his worst reviews is probably the review of the first Matrix film. Right. Oh. Really, really bad. Not really well told. The movie addresses all these jokes.
I think at that point in time it was blocked off of YouTube. Eh?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if I'm
his
not
jokes.
Mistaken.
Right, and that's a different story, because I remember he got in trouble with Tommy Wiseau, and it all the whole blocking thing. I don't really care about it. We're just talking about the actual content itself and what it is. With respect to that, the fair use stuff, he does break a lot of paradigms. He does break the rules when it comes to the fair use. Like when you check back these videos, it's really not fair use in that sense. Anyway, what happened is that he eventually had those crappy little side movies, which is kind of funny and jokey in their own way. Remember, he had these 4 films, Kick-Assia.
Yeah, Kick-Assia, Suburban Nights, right. None of which I plan to see in a hurry.
No, you can really skip all of them. But you kind of get why people may watch them. It's the same reason why the guys at Red Letter Media did Space Cop. It's terrible, but it's funny in its own in-joke way.
Yeah.
Right. But then one of the last ones, and a lot of people's complaining about this one, is where he was basically, he quote-unquote killed off the nostalgia critic. That was the plan. Killed it off, and then he was going to, it is implied that his the website was going to end, or at least end in the current state. So it was a lot of people was like worried, wait, does this mean that our content going to go away forever? We're not going to be doing reviews anymore? Or something like that. What I thought Doug was going to do from this here on in is that he was going to end the nostalgia critic, right? He ended with his character, and he moves on to become a filmmaker. Yeah. Right? He has more than enough money to do this. He made a ton of cash with all these Kickstarters and all these things online to get money from people. And again, all of that is good faith. I have no problem with that. But then he didn't do it. And it's a total failure to launch. Now, the site could continue perfectly fine without him, even though, yes, it is his most popular character. What he could do is move on and do something more interesting or do his own thing. What he decided to do is do these kind of weak, like, not very poorly thought out comedy sketches in his approach.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. It didn't have any plan behind it. It wasn't funny at all. Like, it was seriously unpopular. And then I was thinking, all right, well, there's clearly a direction you should go. Like, what you're supposed to do is get serious with filmmaking and make short films. Because guys like him, and again, this is my problem with a lot of this internet stuff, right? Is that you're talking about how these movies suck and how this movie's terrible and how this and well, guy, if you're doing this, put up a shutter.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's my attitude, right? So, and probably so many more caustic people need to really put up a shutter. So, like, I like YMS, but I want to see YMS make a movie.
Yeah.
Right? And if he fucks it up, then he kind of has to lay back, right? A little bit, right? He's going to understand how hard a movie is to make. Right?
Yeah, but in his defense, though, he did say at some points in time that he was hoping to make a movie one day, but it's just question when.
I have no problem with
that. I mean, he has a Patreon account, and I know he's making ton of cash off it.
I am waiting for it. Yeah. I am waiting for it. But we get to see the other people who really caustic and try to make a movie. Again, Red Letter Media. sorry to say it, I like Space Cop. It's funny, but it's only funny in the joke way. It's really bad.
Right.
It's not funny and clever at all. If I'm not familiar with that stuff at all, it's like, yeah, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, most of it, so I don't know what the point of that is. Space Cop sucked. You know, I like it, I defended it, but it sucked. Sorry. It's the same thing. And I have no problem with the put up or shut up, but you put yourself in that space, you understand how hard it is to make, and you have at least some respect for it. This is one of the reasons why I do like cinema since at all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because I have a serious problem with that dude. And well, you can get, I don't want to get into that kind of worms, but it really comes across as if his critiques are legitimate, and then he backpedals and says it's not legitimate.
Yeah.
Right, that bullshit, whatever. In the case of Doug, the failure to launch was the beginning of the end. Because now, all of this would have been water under the bridge if he, A, got serious with the filmmaking, pushed forward some really great ideas, because he could tell you why this movie is so terrible and so and so. So it's like, well, build from that and just tell us a good movie. Make your own version. You hate this horror movie, make your own genre horror movie.
Yeah.
Subvert the tropes. Make it, sit down and make it clever. Don't just borrow from something and tell me, appeal to this Monday morning quarterback and stuff.
Yeah, and make it a dry comedy too.
It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You write a script, you put it out, and you make it work. Right? People will be lining up across the block just to work with you. Right? You could get any kid coming out of college to work for you for free.
Yeah.
Just as an internship or whatever it is, and you make that work. And he could have gotten just get 10 or 12 people on set, and you're good. You make a good, solid 20-minute short. Really smart, well shot, well thought out. And it's like, all right, good, Doug, you're showing us what to do. And total failure to launch. And then the mistake was he brought back the nostalgia critic. Right? In the most facile and dumb way, the show got kind of more popular, but it's like, yeah, but you're supposed to move on creatively.
Yeah.
And when that happened, then I knew this was the beginning of the end, because all it takes is just now this had to go on, and then people had to just complain about your bullshit after the fact, and that's exactly what happened. You realize the leadership of nostalgia critic was just really, really poisonous and abusive, from what I understand. Some person I think it's Obscura Lupa herself got fired for no good reason. Other people got fired while somebody, I forget her name, was a PR girl, got fired, and she was like overworking and sacrificed themselves for your bullshit, and it didn't work out, and then they just fired the person like callously. I was like, wait,
wow.
It's either you have Doug Walker, I'm just going to just my last opinion on Doug Walker. Doug Walker is the prototypical example of what you call a poor master, right? He's a person that wants to be independent. He don't want nobody telling him nothing. But eventually, once you start to grow, or whatever it is you do, it'll go to a point where you have to start changing and gaining a degree of responsibility. And that's the problem. Them really didn't want to do that. And you get to see that complete collapse simply because of the upper people just don't want to take responsibility for simple things. All they had to do, there's the most unfortunate part of this whole thing. All they had to do is just have a proper apology and address what went on, and people would have stick with them.
Yeah.
That's it. They would have stick with them, and that is all they had to do. And at the end of that, right, now everybody just walking away. Almost everybody. Now, and I'm not knocking anybody who stay with the site. I can imagine people dies their livelihood in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm not knocking anybody who still stay on the site, but yeah, the whole situation just come across as really unfortunate and toxic, and that's just really goddamn sad. It could really poison the argument of, well, you could do this on your own, because this is the result of it, right?
Yeah.
That I have a serious problem with. But what I would say is that Doug and the upper echelons, Doug, Rob, and Mike Mashad, are entirely to blame, right? Doug himself should have come out, and this is the thing is, I understand that Mike Mashad owes the nostalgia critic brand himself, so really? They can't fire him because that'll be the end of that. But my thing with Doug is that, fuck the nostalgia critic, drop the character, get rid of him and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Anybody remember where Doug started off from? Anyone knows? A lot of people should remember. He was working in some meat factory plant or something like that, and he just quit his job in the most assholish, unprofessional way possible. Yeah. But it was funny and clever for what it was, right?
Of course.
But you could see the problem. He's a person, when he want to be in charge, but you don't want to take that responsibility of leadership. And sorry brother, Doug, I like you, Doug, but you need to grow the fuck up, Judd. And take the bull by the horns and see what you could do with it. I have no idea if that guy with the glasses website will survive from this. To me, it was the prototypical template of what freedom on the internet looks like, in terms of creativity, in terms of working with material, and then having resources. The man make the money.
Yeah,
that is my thing with him. He made the money, and this is really, really unfortunate and sad to see. Look, the future of the internet. All these creators who came out of him, who, in my opinion, kind of better than him. But again, that was the intention. The intention was never for you to be the person. You have to sacrifice yourself for this greater good, and he never wanted to do that. That's how I kind of see it.
Right.
But a lot of the great creators I recommend do following. Lindsay Ellis, she's probably one of the best on the internet in my opinion. Comes out from that. what do you call it?
Rap critic.
Rap critic,
Yeah,
yes.
love his stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. He comes on. Everybody leaving, but I do still recommend following these people. I still follow Rap Critic. I still follow Lindsay. This one.
One question: did Rap Critic leave?
Yes, I think he left. I think he did leave. But he's straight.
That's what I was saying. Just as a side.
Yeah, he's straight on YouTube now. But yeah, I still follow his material. I didn't know for a long time. I didn't know he was a baritone actual singer.
No, I know he raps.
No, he raps. He did his whole album, but he's actually a baritone singer. I didn't know that. Because I think he went to Europe to do something.
Okay,
big.
didn't know that.
Right.
But I think with his last video or whatever it was, I did see that channel or some logo at the end. So I was wondering if he was still with these
right.
guys.
No, as far as I understand, I think he has left. The only person I know who I used to follow, and I still one of my favorite online YouTubers, but he was kind of existed long before going on Channel Awesome. That was SF Debris, Chuck Sonnenberg.
Right.
Chuck left. Chuck just quit. Louis Lovehog left. All these big people. The only person who I think might still be there is Blockbuster Buster. He hasn't done stuff in a while. I like Blockbuster Buster. I think a lot of his stuff lines up. I don't agree with his opinions, but why I like him is because his nostalgia lines up in my nostalgia, as in what people in the Caribbean had to deal with, and what we saw, what TV he saw, more or less all the same TV shows and cartoons I saw at the same time. So yeah, and he was roughly my age as well. So that's why I like him a lot. Even though I don't agree with many of his opinions and interpretations, I still like his videos. I don't know if he could survive on his own. The destruction of Blip and VidMe is a big thing.
Yeah,
that was a big factor in terms of changing how the site works and how it flows. One thing, here's the big joke I keep making. YouTube, I'll admit, YouTube does need a proper competitor.
Right? Yes, it does.
We need that shit. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know what's going to happen because VidMe collapsed. And I trying to think of who it is that could really replace.
Sure as hell, not going to be Vimeo, not going to be Dailymotion.
Not going to be Vimeo. The nature of Vimeo doesn't work in that way. But there's a wild idea I've been pumping around. And the joke is, it's a kind of a joke, but I think it could work. Because I've seen some evidence that it could work. That was, anyway, this is my last point on this and we can move on.
Yeah.
Pornhub. Now, here's the thing. Pornhub, I don't see why it is that Pornhub can't market themselves as a safer work version of themselves. Because if you think about it, they have all the same infrastructure as YouTube has. They have all of the embeddings. The player is very good. It's very fast. You can link everything you want relatively fast. And yeah, like why they can't do that? People just do that shit. It's just, they just have to worry about piracy, right? That's the only thing. That's what early YouTube had to worry about in terms of piracy.
Yeah. You
start out dying hard, but you basically make a new VidMe because I can see, like, to me, they could try out a beta where they could say something like 20% of the server resources go to the safer work version of their site. Call this a view hub or something. I don't know.
Right.
That's the idea. I mean, however, that's the idea pushing out. But you could see why this poisonous situation play itself out, unfortunately. And it's just a clash of egos and incompetence, and it's really, really sad that this had to play out this way. It really, really is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's clearly that. Well, my 2 cents on this, because actually this is the first time I'm really getting the full details about it. Yeah. I know there were a couple of videos that came out last week about it, but I just never checked it out.
What Upscroll did, she just did a huge data dump of everyone's complaints in the site and what went down and where it was like, wow, this happened. And then the creators didn't deny any of this. They didn't try to debunk any of this or anything like that. So and then people who was there who didn't talk about it, they themselves say all of this is facts. As far as they say, they have not seen any lies here.
Yeah.
And that's really, really, so like, oh wow, this is really sad. And then we didn't get into like the more really dark and unfortunate aspects of it, like what happened to Juario or stuff like that.
Right.
The Juario situation is probably the saddest by far.
Okay.
But nothing like that. But that's about it.
Well, that's just to round things up, right? So for me, just off of what I just heard here, and from what I mentioned earlier with, how do I make my program here better? Yeah. It really does show, like for me, with the terms of film criticism itself, like it's so easy to just rip films apart, like what he was doing. Like he made a whole career doing that, right? I can't really honestly remember, because I wouldn't say that I religiously watch all of his episodes. Right. I remember every single one. I remember that one time when he said that one film was great. I can't really say that. Right. I just remember the funny moments, the really shitty movies. I find those were kind of entertaining for the most part, right? But there comes a point in time, though, I would say where, where it seems to me that he just kind of paints himself in a corner, where it's like, all right, I have been ripping apart movies for so long, and then I make these, really like self-aware shitty movies like Kikasi and Suburban Nights, where I kind of take the piss out of myself now.
No problem.
To see what these
which,
guys
which
do.
I don't have a problem with.
Right, but at a point in time, eventually, because it's film criticism, you can't spend all your time just talking about how this movie is so bad, how this movie is so shitty. You have to present something that, you gotta let people know, okay, but here's an alternative. Here's something good.
Right.
Why not check this out?
Just to be clear, he does that. It's not like he doesn't do that. That's not the point.
Right.
The point is that you're supposed to pivot from your career. That is my problem.
Right. I was going to get to that.
Exactly.
Because, for example, now Chris Stuckman, who I follow, he has, he had a book that he brought out a couple of years ago called The Film Buff's Bucket List.
Right.
I bought that book. I love that book. Now he has a book coming out actually in the middle of this month, actually, called Anime Impact. Movies and shows that change the world of Japanese animation. So my point is, like, oh yes, and also another YouTuber that I follow, Alicia Malone. She has a podcast right now. She, does a lot of stuff, and she has a book that she brought out last year, which was about women in film, film history.
Yeah.
So my point is that, like, if you're going out there to be a film critic, if you want to call yourself that, right, regardless if it's written or if it's like blogging or YouTube or whatever it is, you have to have a goal in mind. You have to have a direction.
Yeah.
So, okay, dressing up as this everyday man and just ripping apart old movies that you watched when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, fun. Gimmick wise, all right, cool. But you have to evolve from that. You have to do something more. In this case with Chris and Alicia, well, I'm not sure if Alicia is going to do any filmmaking anytime soon, but I know Chris brought out a short film last year, and he's bringing out a book. Well, like I said, this book that's coming out. So there's more to it than just talking about movies being good or bad. You have to bring something to the table as well.
Yeah.
You have to grow as a film critic too.
Yeah.
Whether it's writing books or, as you were hinting at, making films yourself.
Yeah.
You have to bring something.
That was my take on Doug, because again, I didn't expect Doug to be some kind of real brilliant analysis film historian type. I did not expect that shit at all. That's Lindsay's job. Lindsay's good at that. And Lindsay worked in the industry.
Yeah.
It's not to say that she doesn't work in the industry. She went to school with Brian Coogler the same year.
Okay. Wow.
Exactly. So we know she pretty connected in that sense.
Yeah.
But Doug is a person that, I don't know, boy, he just like, is that a complete failure to launch?
Yeah, boy.
He tried his own thing, but he tried his own thing in the wrong way.
And just kind of sloppy though. And I'll just end things off here. Because I totally agree with you, Ricardo. It's like, put up or shut up, man. I mean, actually make a film or do something along that line so you could show, I'm more than just this guy who just makes noise in front of a camera. Right? Now, I kind of look off of Nostalgia Critic when, after the whole Fair Use thing, and he got called out for that, and then he started to do these kind of weird parodies of the films that he's talking about.
Right.
Like he had me at Jurassic World, he had me at Suicide Squad. I was like, okay, what the fuck is this shit? I don't understand this. It's weird green screen kind of stuff. I was like, no. You supposed to come in much better than that with the money and resources that you have, right? So I just kind of stopped there. I was like, no. Right?
Because from what I understand, they raised $90,000. This is a little before when things really went bad. They raised $90,000 to do something. I forget what they was going to do exactly, and then they just ended up burning the money out on some, like, it's unclear what it was, but the show they did in its stead was like some complete cheap nonsense, some game show crap now. Like, what was this exactly?
Yeah.
Where did $90,000 went? $90,000 is a lot of goddamn money.
Yeah, so, you see right there, it's just him fishing for ideas. He just doesn't know what to do.
You'll be shocked. I was utterly shocked at how he was like totally aimless after the Nostalgia Critic end in the last movie. I forget the name of the last movie. To Boldly Flee or something like that. I forget what it was.
Okay.
Whatever.
Don't really know, don't really care.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really, but this is an utterly shocking thing to see a person this successful, because he's the close. To me, he's one of the biggest names online. Straight up, like in terms of their own independent brand as a name and face.
Yeah.
And it's utterly shocking how he could not pivot from this trip.
And last things last, right? People always like to make the assumption, even though it is kind of true in a sense, that film critics, the reason why people become film critics is because they try to make their way into film and they never got through. So it's like a kind of envy kind of thing.
Right.
Like I can understand that argument, but
but in his case, he have no excuse.
Right.
Yeah,
so for me personally, I think that there are other ways I could get by at it. Some other way that I could contribute to our, as in, trade union film industry, even though it's still kind of underdeveloped. I will confess that.
Yeah.
I know you agree with me.
Yeah.
And in terms of films being just a steady flow of films coming out here
material,
every
yeah.
year, material, instead of us waiting for a film festival to see everything. Like, I wish for that day, right?
Right.
But in the meantime, I'm doing this here. But, you know, in the next 5 or 10 years, eventually, I will want to make my own film too. I will want to write my own book or whatever.
Right.
In other words, I will want to contribute into making this film industry better. So, long story short, there's a point in time where you had to stop and be like, I can't be ripping up movies forever. I had to do something. But if you don't have a clue, then
Anyway.
yeah, kind of stop.
Anyway, let's pivot or segue into someone who did exactly what you're supposed to do when it comes to pivoting your career.
Yes.
Let's talk about a certain man by the name of Donald Glover.
Well, can we talk about that Deadpool script?
I
haven't read it.
I didn't read it or even pay attention to it because I thought it was like kind of half jokey kind of thing anyway. So I didn't really.
But I was looking for it though. I was looking for it on Twitter.
I understand it was a fake and he wrote it after. So it was a whole joke thing. So I didn't really take it on.
Yeah, but we just fill in for those who don't know. Well, FX actually with the same network that has his awesome show Atlanta. Season 2 run is going on right now. I haven't gotten into it yet, but you'll talk about a specific episode. I know. So they pulled the plug on a supposed Deadpool animated series, which would have been awesome. At the same time, it's like
I just saw the little minutes of it where they just had little animated parts going good, and then they show all of the keyframing of what they would have done.
Right.
That's it. That's all I saw. And then they apparently
I just think it's much better as a movie right now, as a series, you know.
No, it's a Black Dynamite thing. You know, what you're going to do with that. Like, Black Dynamite is a show that the movie's brilliant. The TV show on Adult Swim is hilarious and brilliant.
Hell yeah.
But there's only so much you could do with it.
That's the thing.
So I don't know what you could do with Deadpool as a whole series. Like, because the nature of Deadpool is something that, I'm going to admit, is a little bite-sized. It's something you can't take in too many chunks. You can't go on too much. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to go too deep in, which is making fun of, and you keep this ad infinitum approach to this. So it's movies, 1, 2, good. But speaking of Deadpool, and as I say, the girl, Zazie Beetz, she's in Deadpool 2.
Yep.
And Zazie Beetz is in this new season. She has a great little character arc in episode, I think, 4.
All right.
Right. And this season I've been really enjoying, frankly.
I can't wait to see.
Right, it's more character based. They had an episode focusing on her and Donald Glover. Earn's character. Then they had an episode focusing on Paperboy and his barber, which is fucking hilarious and really well done.
Paperboy, yes.
But then they hit us with episode 6, the episode called Teddy Poo Kids. And holy shit.
It was this commercial free. That's the only
thing.
That
was the hype. Okay, so Lakeith Stanfield on Twitter was pushing the idea of he's hyping this episode for a while. Since I think episode 3 came out in the season. And he was hyping, watch out, this episode coming, commercial free, and he keep hyping the episode. So it's like, okay, what going on? Then episode before play out, it's like, okay, this was someone really nice and sweet in this own episode. It's kind of sad. That was with Ern and Van. Then episode 5 with Paperboy is hilarious. What made episode 5 stand out for me is that both what's our man, the boy? The fellow who do Turkey Dog Coma with
forgetting characters, but
no, not that character. He's a musician. He did the jazz for the episode. Fly Low, right? Flying Lotus.
Oh, Flying Lotus. Oh, right.
Yeah. Flying Lotus did a bunch of original music for the episode, and I forget the other guy. What's this other guy's name, boy? He did jazz for the episode again, but I don't listen to him at all. I only listen to Fly Low.
Okay.
Was that a musician?
Adrian Young? No,
he's like our age. He's like 33. My brain in fixing right now. But yeah, Flylo did a bunch of great jazz for the episode. The episode was funny and flowing, really well done. The ending is hilarious. I dare not spoil that fucking ending.
Please do it.
It is so good, but it's so good. It'll catch you because it's simple, but it's catchy and it's really well done. And then they hit you with episode 6, and all you need to do is just like, please do not get high for this episode. That is all I'll tell you. This episode was fucked up, Judd. Like, whoa, what are they getting to? Basically, it's getting into the psychology of the brilliant musician, especially the brilliant black musician. So it's this character, and that's all I'll say. It's this character who's somewhat of an allegory for brilliant black musicians, but when you get into the mindset and the psyche, they kind of nothing going on.
Miles Davis, anyone?
Miles Davis, Michael Jackson, Prince to a certain extent. There's a lot of, the whole, you get into the psychology of abuse and whether or not abuse can be justified. That's the episode.
Wow.
Yeah, and they get into this whole, because a lot of people make the analogy of abuse being utilitarian. Well, you can't get anything, nothing great comes without pain or something like that. And there's some truth to it, but it have a point of diminishing returns. And the episode gets into that. and holy shit. I want to talk about more because you didn't see it yet.
Alright.
Boy.
This is like some disturbing, unwatchable stuff.
Nah, it's not truly unwatchable, but it's really well done. But here's the thing. You're thinking you're going to get an entire Lakeith Stanfield episode and it's going to be funny. Nope. It's just the darkest shit with respect to being... Because it gets into the dark aspects of being offbeat.
Right.
You know, when a person is an offbeat, crazy guy, hey, look how strange your world is and look how crazy I am and look how quirky I am.
Yeah. But
yeah, that shit can get dark fast if you know what you're doing.
Wow.
If you're not self-aware enough, and that's what the episode does. You know, all I'll say is that it's I forget Lakeith Stanfield's character right now. It's slipping my mind.
Yeah, I forget character names. Right
yeah, but he Darius.
Yes.
Darius.
Yeah.
Darius. It's basically a Dark Mirror episode for him. Like that's basically what it is. So you have to see, oh shit, this is what he could become, and I think that's what it is. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I recommend it.
I am
this
excited
episode
to see this.
It's fantastic. I did not expect that shit at all, Dread.
I just like 4 more episodes again because it's a 10
Right, I think so,
episode run. Yeah.
But I was really expecting some real like silly goofiness. Nope. And then flip that on you. The real flip it on you. And this is something I don't want to sell out either, but you'll figure it out in the episode. Somebody might win an Emmy just for that.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Certain somebody. And this is what I would say. That person certain somebody who pivot in the right ways. Yeah. So you'll see.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
Excited to see that, man.
Yeah. I do strongly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to some theatrical films. Two of which we saw yesterday. Time of this recording, naturally. Well, in my case, I saw it yesterday. You saw one of them. I think it's a few days back, however. But
yeah, in the premiere.
Yeah. So first film we're going to be talking about is A Quiet Place.
Yes.
Which we will follow up with Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Movie that everybody like real excited for. You know, whether you're a Steven Spielberg fan or a gamer or whatever it is, a consumer of pop culture. Anyway, so we'll start things off with A Quiet Place, right? Now, let's confess something here going forward. 2 things I'm going to confess, right? 1, I went into this movie completely blind, right? I only heard great things about the great reviews of it on Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, sorry. I haven't seen a trailer for it. I didn't know what it was about, right? So I just went in just to see what the big hype was about. Secondly, your boy was kind of hungry though before watching the movie, and he figured he buy himself a Subway. So 5-10 minutes into the movie, when I kind of understood what the setup was and what the approach was for the movie, I was trying my hardest not to make noise, but I kind of slipped. I dropped the ball. You know, when I was wrapping that wrapper, trying to pull out that Subway, I was like, shit, everybody quiet to get him.
Ninja Subway.
But it was crazy though. But before we get into the premise, right? So this is written and directed by, co-written and directed by John Krasinski.
Yeah, your boy from
Jeff from The Office. Yeah,
he's supposed to be Captain America.
Yeah, it stars his real life wife, Emily Blunt.
Yeah,
didn't know she was in it as well too. I did, once again went in completely blind. Said, "Oh shit, you in this? Wow, okay."
Yeah,
you know, and basically the premise is right. So this is more or less like a post-apocalyptic thriller.
Yeah,
with elements of horror, right? Which I'll talk about, right? So Earth has been overrun by these creatures. They never really say exactly where they're from. Some people may say it's aliens, or it's just never really established where they came from. But they are blind, but they are predators, so they hunt by the use of sound.
Yeah.
So the gimmick of the movie, and I'm going to use this term loosely here, the gimmick of this movie here is that if you were to make a sound, like a really loud sound, you could cough, you could scream, laugh, whatever like that, these creatures, if they are at like close proximity to you, they'll basically rush you and kill you.
Yeah, they're really fast.
Like fast, like whoop, grab you, right?
Yeah, they're real fast.
So because of that, and it's established greatly well in the really powerfully effective opening sequence, we introduced this family here, right? So it's John, Emily, and at the time they're 3 kids,
right?
And it's pretty much spoiled in the trailer if you haven't seen it. Yeah, one of the kids is snatched because that dumbass idiot walk with a with a toy.
No, but they explain what they do with it and why it happened.
Yeah.
There's a whole character arc for one of the characters.
Right.
The daughter. Oldest daughter.
Yeah, the oldest daughter actually is
the actress.
The actress is
the character is
actually
deaf, and then the actress is deaf.
Yeah. So John himself actually went out of his way to find
I heard that,
deaf actress.
Yeah,
Reason
cool.
being is because one thing about this movie is that they use sign language.
Yeah, a lot of ASL is being applied, and it's done very respectably and understandably.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the first movies I've ever seen use
do that properly.
So much, right?
Right.
But just want to finish up the synopsis, right? So we cut to roughly a year or so later, right? The family more or less has adjusted to the presence of these creatures, right? So they live in this country home. They're always careful not to make noise indoors because even when they're indoors, these creatures could attack.
Yeah.
And the father himself, he has cameras all over the estate, watching outside, seeing what's going on. He's more aware of what's going on. He's more or less kind of like guiding his family on what to do.
Yeah.
His wife, on the other hand, is pregnant. That's something I didn't see coming, but that's a really integral part of the film itself. Yeah. And it's just really seeing how this family survives while, shit eventually hits the fan when, she's about to give birth, and then a bunch of different scenarios involving the family members and these creatures. And I'll stop right there.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my question, which is more deadly towards Emily Blunt's character? A bunch of strong, deadly alien predators, or one pointy boy?
I know, right?
Dog, that part was real hard, dude. I don't want to spoil it.
Scene alone. They have a little piece of it in the trailer, but that scene alone
that cracked me up, because why it was funny, because like the audience was silent throughout the whole thing. The whole point of the movie, everybody has to stay silent.
Yeah.
So and it really get the audience to be silent, right?
Yes.
I've corroborated this with multiple people across multiple screenings about the silence thing. Somebody made the joke of he never wanted to strangle somebody who eating potato chips more than ever before.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, that when we saw that, right when that scene happened, it hit everybody in the audience. Oh. And that real cracked me up, John. And so it's really well done because it's such a great sequence. They set it up, and you know it coming, and you're not sure how it coming, and then when it comes, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Easily one of the best parts involving a flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was solid. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I had fun. It's a very well made student film.
Yeah, right? I would agree with it. It does have a student film feel like...
It's what has happened when you get a person who's known as an actor do a film. It's kind of like when Ryan Gosling made films. Remember he did A Place Beyond the Pines, I think?
Yeah.
It's good, but not very well thought out.
Right.
That's the thing. You're doing your sci-fi thing, but it will not particularly well thought out.
True.
But you're willing to... But it has enough wiggle room for you to fill that space.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like, wait... So the two big things is, wait, they couldn't do that all the time, or wait, this wasn't possible the entire time. How this happened, right? Little things like that. I don't want to spoil what it is, but little stuff like that is like, it kind of bothered me. But then again, because everything's so isolated, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that is kind of the second point of the story. John Krasinski is okay in this. He's fine. He just played the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right, our dad.
Yes, the stoic father.
Right, that's it.
Trust me, everything is going to be okay, son.
They do the character arc with involving him and his daughter is excellent. I think that's the heart of the film, and that's the film. They made it work.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of contrivances, again, more world building issues, but you had to get the monsters out there. And my only big critique of the movie, which is it's an interesting trade-off, because it's something I would imagine was an alternate version of myself would have complained if they decide to go in this direction, which is you look at the monsters themselves, right? We get to see them.
Yeah.
And
they kind of do look generic, right?
That's my problem. But here's the problem. Where you get a feeling that happened is that, look, you get a feeling they had a really clever design, and then somebody come on and say, this had to be biologically plausible. And that's what happened. And that was my issue with it. Because they only had one thing that made sense, which is involving an ear.
Yeah.
There's an ear-like structure. The aliens have this ear-like structure.
And the eardrum, how it shakes.
And I saw they hear so well. It's a super sensitive hearing. But then you realize, all right, but when they actually see the monsters in action, it's like, well, okay, but it's not like, they're too generic.
Mm-hmm.
That was my issue with it.
And I swear I saw creatures like that before.
Everywhere.
They have,
it was way too
that kind of weird kind of wing, like the way how they
somebody
walk, it looks like
that thing
wings.
from Stranger Things. Somebody made that joke. It was referencing the song like what is the Demogorgon from Stranger Things? I think
that's what you call it. Yeah.
Right. It's that.
Demigorgon.
Demigorgon. Thank you. That's pretty much what it was. But to me, in my head, I was like, yeah, this is a xenomorph.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a xenomorph.
Right.
It just feels too much like a xenomorph. It's just a xenomorph with a slightly weirder look and the split hair thing, the split head crap. That's about it. But I find as a thriller it works. Another dumb thing I hate, which is, look, again, some suit probably do this, jump scares.
Yeah, I will talk about jump scares,
Yeah,
but
why it had some really, really bad use of jump scares in this. Like, it had one jump scare that served its purpose, and then another was just totally pointless and undermined the scene, in my opinion. But whatever.
Yeah.
I had fun with this, for the most part. It works. It's not too scary. It doesn't try to be. And it just tells its story very, very well. And it justifies its existence. So it had somebody involved in a baby. Say, hey, how are you going to keep that baby quiet? But they do that. They explain that. Kind of.
Yeah.
It wasn't too consistent. I thought it was a little inconsistent at times with the sound thing. Because they had them making mistakes with the sound thing ever so often. But then the big seller of the film too is that the heart of the film was the daughter and the father. But the big seller of the film was the sound design.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the shtick, right? Again, it's a student film. You have to do the sound design thing. How are you going to make people care about sound here and not here? Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I enjoyed this movie for what it was. I think it premiered South by Southwest.
Yes, it did.
Right. And that's it.
Yes.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't love this, but I liked it and I had fun.
Right. So for me, I agree with you totally.
Yeah.
I appreciated the film. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
Once again, going into this thing blind, so I did not expect that I was going to see an episode of Walking Dead.
Right.
Because I swear that the first 3 minutes alone felt like an episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. But then as I started to see the story pick up, I was like, this is before the title shows up. I was like, okay, this is where they're getting at.
Right.
Why did I buy this Subway? Jeez, okay, now I have to finish this off because now I engage. Oh shit, I'm making noise, can we make a noise?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, right? But the use of sound, or the sound design in this movie is incredible. It's well thought of. I love that. The use of sign language I thought was a great great touch. Really added for some very emotional moments as well, especially with John and the blind the deaf actress. Like those moments with the two of them were great, right? Even some nice quiet moments with John and his wife Emily. Some really nice moments. But then when they brought out the whole subplot with her having the baby, I was like, oh shit, we go in there. Because once again, going into this thing blind, not knowing what to expect. What else? The music I thought was well handled. I mean, Marco Beltrami did it, so it's that kind of it's that horror music that you expect, that thriller music.
Yeah.
But really, just like with The Walking Dead, it really does work on an emotional level.
Right.
But one thing I really do I like about the film is that it concentrates on one family. It does not talk about all the other people there.
Right.
Because that would make things even more complicated.
It would make things less, because again, the world building, some of the things don't make that much sense. Like again, and then they had a kind of a scene that felt pointless in retrospect, but I didn't get what the point of it was. So they saw a guy, and then he's like, oh, like what?
Yeah. There was right.
And I didn't get what that.
Yeah, there were some things that happened in the movie though that really took me out of it. For one thing, like I say with that guy, I know. All right, so the movie itself just basically is an excuse to just build tension. It just builds tension, right? And one technique that they use with it is the use of jump scares. Yeah. Now, I am not the biggest fan of jump scares at all, but here. I see the appeal of it. I see how they use it, but then for me, ultimately at the end of the day, it's still a jump scare.
So there are two jump scares in particular that stood out. One served the story and made some sense, and it's more like a sound design issue because you get why they did it this way. So it was involving a lamp.
Yes, and a lantern.
Lantern, right? Yeah. And it basically sounded like a car explosion, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But the point of it was it's not supposed to sound like that to them. Is that they get it sounds like that to the aliens, whoever they are. Right?
But for the audience is supposed to jolt them.
Right. So that wasn't a big problem for me. But then there's a second jump scare that was so goddamn stupid and made no sense. And to me, that reveal as a jump scare is totally undermined the scene.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I'm not going to sell it out.
Yeah.
But it was a scene that could have been really emotionally powerful. And they just frankly, I thought they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But just get back to what I was saying. So yeah, I felt that the jump scare stuff, while I appreciate how they try to twist it and make it a little bit different, ultimately it's still jump scares.
And it's supposed to be, it's a matter of sound. Right, it's sound use. The whole point is this.
Well, right.
What is diegetic?
Diegetic sound. Right. So this to me is why I would let that whole jump scare thing slide. Because,
exactly.
yeah, jump scares all rely on, you know, isolation of sound, you don't hear anything, and then that boom happens, right? So cool. Performance wise, I thought that everybody delivered great performances, especially kids though. Surprised by the kids. Even that one idiotic kid, that's all I'll say. I was really impressed by the deaf girl. I thought that she really,
and she had a good arc.
Yeah, her story arc was great. The emotion that she brought to her role was great too.
Yeah, the arc with her and the father, and then the son was asking him, "Hey, what are you thinking about the daughter?" And I thought they handled all of that quite well.
Right, and the tension, the way how they built tension was great as well. There were moments literally where I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
However, though, there were a few times where I kind of tuned out of it. Where it was just because you're just creating this one emotion again and again. You're kind of just burned out now. And this was how I felt near the end of the movie. And then it just kind of ends abruptly. At least to me, kind of ends abruptly. I was like, okay, well, I wanted more out of this. It just kind of ends like that. I was just like,
well,
I just left kind of unsatisfied.
I didn't mind that kind of ending. It's fine for me. It's silly. It's a little goofy.
It's cliched.
And it's very cliche, but I didn't mind. And it handled all the cliches in it. It's cliches I like. So it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would have.
This movie is cliche. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's cliche ridden.
Yeah.
But they are cliches.
But as
like
I say, it's the actor making a movie kind of thing. So you'll fall into those trappings I expected him to.
Yeah.
And he always knocking on the door to be this big action star anyway.
Yeah,
since Captain America.
Captain America. Now he's what, Jack Ryan, and
you know.
Anyway, but just a couple things before we get to it, right? So there were some things that characters did that were just downright stupid.
Okay, I don't think any, but what you can
just some things just. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I wanted more out of the characters, like to understand who they are inside. Why would they react to things this way? Right. Especially in the third act where some characters do some stuff and I'm like wondering, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Okay, so
but I guess it's because we don't know the characters all too well because of the gimmick, no dialogue.
Here's one of the big problems I have with this movie. This is again part of the world building. So it's unclear to me why it is that they can't. To me, distracting with sound is such an easy thing to do. You would think they would do that more. And they kind of do it, but then in other moments, they didn't do it.
True, yeah.
Or they did it in a dumb way.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, no, you could still do this in a smarter way. No? You don't need to do the quote-unquote, because we get, again, another cliche of sacrifice, play for a certain character. And it's like, wait, you could have do this smarter.
Yeah.
And again, this is, okay, so this movie, it's still a student film. I liked it for what it was. It's still solid business. But they could have maybe punched it up one or two times.
Yeah, I would agree. They really should have worked on the script just a little bit more because it does feel too reliant on its gimmick. And then eventually the audience will be like, well, okay, this is cool, but what if? But why this?
They could have done this a little smarter now. Anyway, I'm going to give them a rating.
And last thing, just personal nitpick and slight spoiler, right? You think with these characters being in this house, right, that the creatures won't attack, but they still do. So like you don't really see them like where. Okay. So my point is right. There are moments where characters in the house end up making a noise by accident, right? And then suddenly the creatures come from above.
Where the fuck they was?
Where above?
That is the problem, right? Again, more world building.
How far were they to
that
the house?
Thing. That is my problem with it. It's unclear how much.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I had to ask these questions.
That's what I'm saying. It had just a ton of world building problems. That first ask it outright is to spoil the movie.
Because it almost came. Because to me, it almost like at a point in time, I said, "What? They had a window open." That's
what I'm trying to say. It didn't make sense. A lot of it just more Jason. The teleporting Jason problem.
But I mean, it's very reliant on its premise, on
a
its
little
gimmick.
reliant.
But I do agree with you. It is a student film. I would say more like student film, like you're teaching sound editing,
right?
You show this, you could have this and Baby Driver be a double feature.
That's the thing. It's a double, right? Exactly. It's a modern example of how to do this.
How to use sound in film, that kind of thing. Yeah. Right. So rating wise, what would you give?
Low movie tone. Low movie tone. It's not that bad. I had a lot of fun with it for what it was. I kind of put it in the same space as the movie with what is?
Here Comes the Night.
No, Here Comes the Night. It's
better than that show.
It's better in my opinion. I prefer it to It Comes at Night. But it's not. It more reminds me of this movie, or the movie with Cable. No, not Cable. Shit.
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Right. It reminds me of that. is the guy from Avatar. Not he was supposed to be Cable. He's pushing to be Cable.
Right.
Yeah. It kind of remember that it's that same schlockiness. It works. It's horribly mismarketed.
Yeah.
Because it's
I actually watched the trailer afterwards.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, yeah.
It's horribly mismarketed, but not as bad as it comes.
As it comes to that.
Right.
Jeez,
but it is a straight solid horror business. You should just play it like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this somber post-apocalyptic crap.
It's Walking Dead, man.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what's suspect.
So we all had to do post-apocalyptic films
Right.
like this now, because Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, low movie tongue for me.
For me, I would give this a very, very light 3.5 out of 5. Despite its flaws, despite its plot holes, and you asking questions, which you will be doing afterwards.
Yeah.
Just from a technical perspective, it works. From an emotional perspective, it works. From an acting perspective, it works. It's just if they like you said, if they just punched up the script a little bit more,
right.
really fill those plot holes, and I think it would have been a lot better.
The movie was served well because of good actors too. I think that is what really hold it together. The emotional core of it was solid, so that is why it was not a problem for me.
Right.
And especially with Emily Blunt, the daughter, and the father.
Yeah.
Those three really sold the film particularly well, in my opinion.
Cool.
That's about it. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of movies that are heavily reliant on technical merits than substance, now we have to talk about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Which is produced and directed by none other than Steven Spielberg himself. I mean, he needs no introduction. He is an icon, modern day blockbuster author.
Probably, I would argue he's probably the greatest living filmmaker right now.
I would say the most influential. At this moment.
Yeah, but I'll say I have no problem saying greatest living. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah.
He's one of the best, really, in truly, by all accounts. And even he's such a great filmmaker that you rank his films amongst themselves.
Yes.
And this ranked not that high.
I
put us above a little above AI.
Nah. AI. I'll put AI over this trend. AI just had so much. Thematically, there was just and emotion-wise, I was enjoying
AI until the ending, and I hated the ending.
I know some people hated the ending, it was the whole Pinocchio story thing.
Right.
Give it an end. So,
a lot of AI don't work for me personally. Right. Whatever. Point is, this was interesting. The movie started bad. To be clear, this is better than the book.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, this is better than the book. It's smart.
I know they changed stuff up from
the book. They fixed a lot of the bullshit the book had.
And another thing I heard also too is that I haven't read the book. I haven't gotten around to it, unfortunately. But I heard the book was too much heavy on 80s nostalgia. No, 80s nostalgia specifically.
No, right.
You got
but that's just a simple visual change because it makes sense that it'll have more nostalgia instead of the 80s bullshit. If you're doing that, you'll sell every other nostalgia. Why not only the 80s now?
Yeah.
In the story, they make it out as if time passed now with this thing. Anyways, so it's 5 years, and more time passed anyway since the man dead. The big secret weapon of this movie is Mark Rylance. He played it so well. This character of Halliday, and they did such an excellent job of having Halliday be on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. That was such a smart call and a move because in the book, Ryland's character, the Halliday character, is not really necessarily in the spectrum. He's more akin to Steve Jobs. He's just a kind of smarmy douche.
Okay.
And then they change the message of the book from it's really like Willy Wonka in a way though. It changed a lot.
The whole premise has a Willy Wonka feel actually. Yeah.
But they changed a lot from movie to book now. So again, all the changes are good calls. They change the main character, how he operates. He's in the character, he's a kind of unlikable douche. But that's kind of the point.
Right.
That you're supposed to be. It's that gatekeep. Because that's the whole point of the book. The book is, you have a lot of this gatekeepery, geek culture stuff. And I want to get into that. I probably might waste a little too much time talking about that shit. But the whole idea of how and speaking about this post Gamergate, because the book was written before Gamergate, so you had a working romanticization of geek culture, right? And you have this gatekeeper in kind of thing. Well, I know who the Triffids are, and I know who
Triffids,
right? Well. And I know who was the writing premise and which author which when and this bullshit now, and it have a gatekeeper aspect to it. Well, if you don't know this, you ain't as good as us because you don't spend this amount of time, and they have a kind of working hate of modernization of geek culture where somebody could Wikipedia something and catch up.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys don't like that. A lot of that's something I noticed. And when I noticed, you can find an article by Patton Oswalt about that. He's like, he hated how people could just Wikipedia stuff. Or you could just, what do you call it? What's the name of the website by?
Google.
No, Google. No, not Google. But it had TV tropes. Right? You can just TV tropes your way into understanding fandom. But at the end of the day, you still have to like the material you're getting into.
Of course.
And it's understandable that some people are cynical and quote-unquote fake geeks, right? But then it became, well, you know, to mention the real world now, it kind of went into its apotheosis with the rise of the Gamergate, right? Where you had a bunch of people just engaging in all this nasty behavior back and forth about what geek culture should be in terms of how we should treat video games, how we should treat these characters. You get to see it with a lot of the back and forth with Star Wars and Star Trek in its recent incarnations.
Yes.
And you're wondering, okay, this geek culture stuff's starting to become a little more poisonous than it should be. And well, Ernest Cline, when he wrote the book, was, well, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but you get to see that nonsense, in my opinion. It's just the gatekeeper nonsense of people just, well, I know more about this than you. And I remember episode 28 of season 2 in blah, blah, blah. And
right, and this is what really happened.
Right.
This is what it meant.
No, it's not that. It's more, well, this is what this works in this way. And they don't give, ironically, they're not particularly progressive.
Yeah.
And it's ironic, you get to see a shocking amount of people who are Star Trek fans, for example, are racist and sexist.
Wow.
I was like, wait,
so that's why they're angry at Star Trek Discovery.
A little bit. Some of it is that. But it's shocking to see so many of them like that because of that. Now, Discovery has its problems, and there are people who legitimately criticize Discovery. But there are a lot of people who call themselves Star Trek fans that hate it for that. I'm like, that's an issue. And this movie really embellishes that whole aspect of geek culture, corporatization, which you understand. Again, you can understand why corporate, because they do a whole net neutrality thing in this. And then they do the whole aspect of not film culture, but geek culture as it meant to be when you understand it in the future.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of people complain about, it have the Iron Giant being violent in the movie. Well, because the Iron Giant didn't want to be a gun. Well, no, you miss the point if that is what you're trying to say. Like, I get your argument, but that is not the point of the story.
Yeah.
Especially which character does it, because these characters supposedly living in this world as they understand it. There are a lot of people who would never live in this world as we understand it. The whole idea of the Oasis.
Yeah.
So give me a run through what's going on now.
I was actually about to ask you the same thing. See that you read the book and all.
Yeah.
All right. So
now, one from your perspective, since you didn't read the book.
So movie is set in 2045, right?
Yes.
And we learn that there is this virtual reality software by the name of Oasis.
Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of established that the real world sucks.
Yeah.
It's pretty much shitty. And the main character, who is played by Ty Sheridan, so he plays Wade Watts.
Yes.
And he spends the majority of his time playing in the Oasis, right? So the Oasis basically is this virtual reality universe, basically, where anything is possible. You could go to any place, play anything, play any game, be who you want, whatever it is.
It's YA Snow Crash.
Yeah. It's your wildest dreams come true. Right. Whether you want to be whether it is a gamer,
whatever
you want to be, wherever it is. But in the case of the movie here, it's mostly about games and TV shows, that just being able to be your favorite character, basically, right? So in this world, he plays the character of Parsifal, right?
Yeah.
This sort of
just generic.
Yeah, this kind of generic
online guy,
anime looking kind of character with the blonde hair, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So we learn through some voiceover narration, which I kind of welcomed, and then at the same time was like, there's a little too much of it to say. We learned that Oasis was created by two guys, one of which is named James Halliday, who is played by Mark Rylance.
Yes.
Didn't know he was in this movie, by the way, right? And unfortunately, he passed away. There was some shenanigans, some business shenanigans with him and his business partner.
Yeah.
Didn't end well.
Yeah.
So, but you could tell, but just from his characterization, which I love, by the way, is that he loves, he finds a passion with geek culture. He grew up with this kind of stuff. It means so much to him now. He just wants to spread that to the world, basically. So that's why the Oasis is what it is, why it's so sprawling and why it's so amazing, right?
Yeah.
So he sets up this little game, this little contest, if you will, right? Yeah. So he has an Easter egg, right? And basically the idea is that you have to undergo this quest to find this specific Easter egg, and if you win,
it's fine.
you could pretty much get to
right.
control the
Essentially,
Oasis.
right,
Yeah.
essentially you're signing over
you
control of the Oasis to you, the
Yes.
entire Oasis, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently, now this is weird. Again, this is another world building problem, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But go. Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I wondered if
it's three keys.
yeah, because it's kind of like, okay, so you're just gonna put the whole life and future of your creation into somebody
that
you don't know.
It's a world building thing. It's a world building thing. But the thing is, the last test was important. That last piece when he said he was going to sign, and then he
yes, it's great twist.
I thought that was a nice little reveal.
Right. So in the process now, well, he has some online friends.
Yeah.
One of which is called Ake. I believe that's how you call it, AECH.
Yeah.
Who
H.
Sorry, H. Right. Yeah.
H. Yeah.
They call them Gunters basically. So
Right.
they are Easter egg hunters,
yeah.
right? There's two other characters as well. By the names of Sho and Dalto, I believe.
Yeah.
Sho's name was changed from the.
I forget why. I forget why they changed it, but yeah, it's
Right.
They changed what the kids were like, because in the book they were more like hikikomori, if you know what that is. Hikikomori is basically is a wave of young Japanese people, mostly boys, who are essentially became shut-ins to their life. Became more or less like digital shut-ins.
Right.
And they lived the whole time. So they had them much older in the book, from what I understand.
Right.
Then, well, you're going to mention the next
and then also too, we introduced the character of Artemis,
Right.
who's played by Olivia Cook.
Right.
That's her game name, by the way, right? And
Right.
then, of course, she becomes Parzival's love interest.
Right. No, they changed that in the book because, again, she's supposed. Well, the only thing they changed is the size. In the book, she's supposed to be bigger.
All right.
She used to be like a size 10, but they have her in this like a size 3.
Yeah, because she's Olivia Cook and you gotta make
Right.
she look good, right?
Right.
Right. So while all this is going on now, we are introduced to the bad guy,
Yeah.
Nolan Sorrento.
Right.
He's the CEO of a company called the Innovative
Yeah,
Online Industries.
IOI,
IOI.
Yeah.
They're like the rival of Oasis. And
And
they,
it has that imagery of 101.
yes,
So
which I love, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so basically they see the potential of the Oasis. And
Right, and
yeah, they just
yeah.
want that shit. They want to capitalize on that
so
shit.
what you want to do is he just pour a set of resources into solving the problem that they
Yes.
solve. And what
Right,
happens
and well, that problem being that there are 3 keys that need to be
Right.
found, so it's
Right.
3 different levels. 3 riddles
Games.
that need to be found, and
Right.
it's within 3
Yeah,
games.
right,
or
you
3
have to
levels.
solve right.
Yeah.
So you essentially have to solve a game, and it's trap.
Yes.
And basically, all of them trapped in such a way, if you don't solve it properly, you'll never figure it out. And it's done like a twist on a game, in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form. So the first one was the Akaris.
Yes.
That's virtually impossible to beat unless you do some bullshit.
Yeah.
Which, again, another world building problem. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
The way how they worked out was kind of like, okay.
Nah, my thing is that somebody would have figured this out before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
But all of these riddles have something to do with
Halliday himself.
With Halliday
And
himself,
that's what I
which
actually really liked. And
added a real emotional core to the
And
movie.
the film handled this a lot better than the book did. Because what they do with Halliday in this is that they say, okay, it's about his personality and they film it back. But you don't have to learn about his, because it changed the central message of the book. Because in the book, okay, so I'm just going to tell out the story in the book. Central message in the book is that you shouldn't have waste your time on all this bullshit.
Oh.
That is what Halliday kind of told him.
Okay.
And because Halliday not autistic.
Right.
In the book, as far as I know, that it never came across like that. He didn't seem to be on the spectrum or anything like that. Somebody could probably correct me. But in the book, he does come across like smarmy Steve Jobs of the future. Right? He's that. Or if you know who Richard Garriott is. Anyone knows who that is? A fellow called Lord British.
I don't.
Anyway, he was a guy back in his 90s. I think he's Age of Empires, I think. Usually.
Okay.
Anyway, he was a big online persona, type of persona. He's kind of a douche. Whatever.
Right.
Back then, so anyway, it was that. He was the Steve Jobs kind of figure, and then he'd say, look, you kind of waste your time on all this bullshit. But in this one, they say, no. It's Mark Rylance's character and this is how he had to process the world, and then he ended up because he's a genius, he ended up processing the world in a real strange way. And then he needed somebody to replicate this, but don't make my mistakes. Which it changed. It's not the same thing.
Right.
And I really like that. I thought that was very clever and well done. But it more feed into his personality and who he was as a person.
Right.
How this is how you need to see the world and how you have to make sense of things.
Okay.
And they really feed into the whole on the spectrum thing. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really excellent. And Mark Rylance has played so perfectly. I was like, wow, this is one of his better roles by far.
All right, so I'll start off with the not so good, right? Just start off from the minor.
No, we're going to go with the bad first because there's a lot of good.
Right. So start from the bad. Start from the small to the big, right?
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Now, I really love the score from Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
Which is really ironic because not only did he create scores for movies like Back to the Future and Predator, but he also did the score for a little movie called Super Mario Brothers.
Right. That was,
but reason being why he's on board with this movie and not John Williams is because John Williams was busy scoring The Post.
Okay.
It's like, all right, cool, Alan, come through.
Right.
Do a thing for me, and this is probably one of the best scores he's ever did. But not his score I'm talking about the music itself, the actual 80s songs, because there are some 80s songs. I felt they were a little too on the nose, man.
No, well,
as the movie starts off, you're hearing jump, you know, like it's real. Like, okay, I understand that we need to do the 80s throwback, but some of them were like. All right, but okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is, like, in the trailer, there's a song that's played from this group called Rush.
Yeah.
That song is not in the movie at all. That bummed me out, right? But I felt that these song choices that he used here were a little too, I don't want to say cliche, but they're just so standard. Like, hey, here's an 80s throwback scene. Let's use this song.
Right.
We're not going to take this anymore. It's like there could have been more thought to the choices of songs used here, in my opinion.
I don't have a big problem with that because, again, it's supposed to be the working context of the film. Like, that's supposed to be Halliday's thing.
Right,
it's
like the songs that he loves.
Right, and remember, all the geekdom stuff and me knowing about geek thing is not general geek culture. It's just this character so obsessed with Halliday as a person and what he liked that everything fed into that.
Right.
So that's why I didn't have a problem with all of that shit. So like, whatever.
Okay. Another thing, you'll agree with me too. The world building.
Right.
Like
a lot of it's bad.
Especially with the stacks, as you call it, right? So the stacks is pretty much the real world, right? Yeah. It's like this mixture of a trailer, home, and a project, right? Basically, really shitty looking kind of way. It has a kind of cyberpunk kind of
as I say, as I call it, I call this book and a movie. I call it Why Snow Crash, right? If you know what Snow Crash is, again.
Well, you've mentioned it lots of times in this show.
So I'm gonna mention what Snow Crash. And again, here's the thing: the movie does repudiate the whole knowing about geek culture thing, but here's me being a slight hypocrite, telling you about geek culture shit, right?
Yeah.
Snow Crash was a book back in the days where it had roughly. This is written by Neil Stephenson, one of my favorite sci-fi novels, but it was a parody of cyberpunk, kind of, and what it was is basically the idea of online communities similar to.
Right, the
Oasis.
Right.
And what it was them being hackers and grifters and these kind of psychopaths being online, and then you had to be very wealthy if you're online, and you know who wealthy and not wealthy by the level of resolution in the game. And then a big part of the plot was hacking somebody's quote-unquote brain by using this program called Snow Crash.
Yeah.
It's a crash
kind of like Inception kind of thing.
Right, but the word Snow Crash means when you have TV snow.
Right. I got you.
It's TV snow, and basically that's what it is. Your brain used to go into TV snow now. Mm-hmm. That's what he used to do to the person. And then he ended up being the hero of the story. By the way, his name is Hero Protagonist because that's a joke. They basically played that up. And that's why this was that. This felt like that in some ways. But it wasn't as well thought out as that book.
Yeah, well...
It's way simpler, and it's because Ernest Cline, look, I'm sure Ernest Cline's a great dude, but it's just game shit.
Yeah. Well, for me, just from a visual perspective, like I see, okay, the world looks shitty, and I kind of get why people would go to this virtual reality world to escape. I get that. But you're telling me this in words, and you're showing me a few images. Like, I'm not saying stop the show to show me just how fucked up the stacks are, but give me a reason, give me a proper contrast between the two.
That's another thing, because another thing too is that people seem to be reasonably well fed and well working out, and I didn't get the sense that what I'll put, because okay, I'm gonna straight up say it, I don't care how good virtual reality is, nobody gonna really invest their time in that shit. I do not
Amen
believe
to that. Amen to
I don't believe that. Now, we live in an age called Second Life, and have a handful of people who really invest themselves in Second Life, right? Second Life already exists. You can find whole articles.
World of Warcraft, anyone?
Well, not that, because World of Warcraft is not, well, that's the thing. Oasis is a mixer, because the whole point of the Oasis is that it's all in one. It's all in one, right? But we know, right, again, when Cline wrote it in our post-World of Warcraft world, where we know people waste their life on that shit.
Yeah.
You can find how many disturbing stories.
Oh boy.
You know, it had this couple in Scotland who neglect their 5 kids and they end up getting arrested for child negligence.
I remember that shit. Yeah.
It had a whole bunch of stories of people spending money, and basically had gold farm slavery in China. And they address all of that in this book, in the story and the book, where they had the IOI doing all that shit.
Yes.
That's another problem. If you're doing that, it had to make sense in the world, because we already know the working history as it is. Again, if this movie came out in 2013 or maybe 2012 or something like that, people would have bought it more. But since we know how these things play out in a more realistic sociological sense, I couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A perfect example is IOI. So when IOI was playing itself out, I wasn't following the fact that I thought it's like, all right, I forget how IOI was structured in the book, but the way how they play it out as if it's like OCP now, where them is the police one time, and they kind of buy out any public services and whatnot. But then in the end, the fella get arrested like normal.
Yeah.
And like, wait, what? How? I thought they buy out the police and thing.
Yeah, because it had shots with like IOI men with guns and
Guns
stuff
and
like
things. So I was like, wait, what?
So what? That's in the game or whatever? I don't know.
That didn't make sense.
And as much as
and then the idea of the debt slavery thing made some sense to me. It's like, all right, you have a contract. The father get the contract. She get the debt slavery because she had to pass on the debt.
Yeah.
From the father. Cool. But then it's like, wait, but they straight up kidnap somebody. Like, you can't address some different way. I didn't.
My thing with that aspect itself, I find it as gloss through it fast.
A little too fast.
Oh well, I have this debt, I have to pay.
Yeah.
Show, don't tell. Like,
Right.
show me how this thing works. Like, give me an idea of how the sacks work. Why is this place so bad?
That was my
escape.
That was my suited. I didn't get why so many people. Another problem. Here's another problem.
Yeah.
So, data. People can't find other people on the internet. Dog, the second you use that shit, you're getting fined. There's another big... No, okay, so you kind of have to know this technically, but you see, if you know our old internet meme, I've been hiding behind 7 proxies, right? It's an old joke. But it's the idea that, oh, I'm so brilliant that you could never find me on the internet kind of crap now, because I know how to hide behind so-and-so. Sorry, the 7 proxy things is bullshit. The second you're using the internet, you will be found.
Of course.
And they sell it out as this, well, you know, he had to secretly say his name. And so you gotta figure out, like, what? No, you just track. You sending so much data across any kind of network, somebody gonna fucking find you. Please.
Dude, he ordered a product.
That's why I studying.
That's
why I studying. I was like, yeah, he the suit, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? He didn't have the same suit, and the fella ordered.
You gotta wait for him to see the.
And that's how you. So nobody know who Passable is. I'm like, no, you could track that shit down.
And on the subject of that suit, well, and the world itself, like, as much as you love the world, you want to be in this world.
Right.
Still, you have to come back to it. You have to come back to reality. And I felt like it's more on the Oasis and less on the stacks.
Right,
I could have like divided a lot.
That's another problem I had, was that if they did things, I don't know, they because of the extreme of the stacks, they didn't. Everybody seemed to be relatively healthy and good, but it's like they didn't care to take care of the world. But I was like, no. Again, here's the thing with virtual reality. You have to justify why does the virtual reality have some stakes to it.
Agree.
Or what you can make is a working metric of being on the virtual reality system will be so goddamn important that you have to be there more than anything else.
Yeah, even right down to the quest itself. Like, I tell myself, but
my thing is
it's a game though, and there's already much stakes. It's just beating the game, right?
Exactly. But no, I kind of get the sense that it's money.
Yeah.
So people kind of quote unquote earning a living by being on the Oasis, but it's entertainment at the same time. They ain't sure who getting paid how and whatnot, and especially with the H character and who was doing what. Another thing with the movie is that the movie shockingly felt dated. So they try to like make it out as a real, hi, I'm the real person, and this is some big surprises like that.
No, not really.
No. But they got this girl, I forget her name. She apparently she's
Lena Waite. She was in Mass of None. She had that great Emmy-winning episode Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when she revealed, well, it's a black guy instead of a black guy, it's a black woman. It's like, well,
yeah.
Okay.
Although it's kind of funny because she's a lesbian, so it's like, oh, but
still.
and they kind of hit that, you know, this avatar, it may not be a male. And so it's kind of
funny,
but it's like, that's not really all that funny though.
Yeah, dated.
Yeah.
Another thing is when they reveal the girl, it's like, well, hi, I'm the real Artemis. It's like, well, okay, that's a surprise.
Yeah. Okay, hi, Olivia Cook. Hi, how you doing?
Right.
You know, but whatever. Another thing, so some of the dialogue was poorly written.
Right, there's this one particular
particular line, say it for me.
Yeah, you killed my mother's sister.
I watched that and I turned to my friend. I was like, wait, Spielberg really let this slide?
No, that's the thing. Okay, so one thing I noticed about the film. Guys, we are talking the film, but we're gonna get to the good.
Of course,
right?
It is good, right?
Spielberg was sleeping. Kind of sleep. I felt like you were sleepwalking through a little bit of this, some of this, because it's like, yeah, you should have take this and say, all right, you improved this. I know they had to change the Wade Walk's character. They had this one character who was kind of cool, I thought, and I thought they would give a little more to him. This guy was one of the main bad guys, and he's complaining about his neck constantly.
Oh, T.J. Miller's character?
Right.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent.
I thought he was great, yeah. I thought that guy was great. The main villain, Nolan, I thought they would have fleshed him out a little better. He just felt like the president from Saints Row.
He was just the corporate asshole.
Right.
He played well, but there could have been more to him than just being a corporate asshole.
That's another thing that bothered me about the movie. It's supposed to be the future, but he still hate geek shit. I was like, wait, how you hate geek shit and you in this so long?
And you have a chair like this.
That didn't make I didn't say
it would be like he embraced the technology, but on the other hand, he kind of blinded somehow.
No, but he ignorant of the past technology because he's like a total almost like a Luddite though.
Right.
Because he had his password.
His password written on the chair.
Right, with his Bossman 69 or something.
Yeah, Bossman 69.
Right, but my thing is that he don't know anything about geek culture at all. Because you don't know what the past and you don't know what Halliday's past. But again, I know they was informing it to be what Halliday liked.
Yeah.
My attitude is that he should have his own geek culture stuff. Like he know a bunch of geek shit, but it's not the geek shit them like because of different age and timing. And he just feel like a corporate douche.
Yeah, but what would be a good example of that though? Like
that's my thing. I
mean, geek culture is geek culture, right?
No, but it's not. You have different geek cultures. Right? And so they Wade Watt's character into what Halliday liked.
Yes.
This character didn't know about games at all because they had to do the bullshit. I know about geek culture stuff and that makes me authentic and you don't know about it and that makes you the sellout corporate bullshitter.
Yeah.
And they had to have him, the guy phoning in his ear, hey, I have to think about this and they have the wrong movie, Richmond High. So and so. And he's like, wait, but why doesn't he just not familiar with movies like The Matrix or something? Mm-hmm. No.
I see what you mean.
In today's world, it makes some sense because you have a whole bunch of people who just grew up without the internet, who don't know the internet. I mean, the internet is really our generation. We're kind of the oldest people involved with the internet for the most part, right? The oldest people involved with the internet is about 40 now, right?
Yeah.
But by then, everybody accustomed to that shit. You don't have to be into the Oasis because the Oasis in particular is a particular time sink. You don't have to be into World of Warcraft, but you can be a geek or a geek in its own right.
Yeah. And
I didn't get why this guy was just he felt like an old Mitt Romney type corporate guy.
Right.
That didn't gel or make sense to me. Whatever.
I understand.
Whatever.
Right.
I didn't hate it. It's fine. And what they do with him in the ending was cool. I like that.
Yeah. Kind of wrapped it up kind of neatly in my opinion.
Right.
Like what right. And then right. So last big thing, the characterization. I felt the characters mostly were two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Haha, which is funny.
Yeah.
But I wish, especially with the lead though, Ty Sheridan.
Dude,
I
this guy
felt
can't
that
fucking act. Sorry.
The man. Okay,
No.
I'll give him credit. He tried, but something about he just lacks screen presence. I could not buy him as a hero. I saw him as this kind of underdog geek character. I get that, but I couldn't see him as this hero that will rise up.
He have a weird frumpy face. So when he outside the Oasis and they're trying to do this big scene where I'm the Oasis, so and so, and they have him but they have the camera focus on his real world version.
Yeah,
I'm but
I remember that. Yeah,
just you could cut back to Parsifal. No, I don't need to see Wade Watts.
Yeah.
Cut to Parsifal, keep it on Parsifal. And I get that they had to do another thing is the mechanics of the world, which makes some sense and was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Like he was on a treadmill and they had the fat woman on the
pole, on the pole,
and whatever it is. Blah, fine. But some of that mechanics could have played out, but I get the purpose of that. The purpose of that is to show the mechanics from a filmmaking perspective. But if I think about it from a virtual reality, actual engineering perspective, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, it could, I don't know, maybe it could have just been in a room or some kind of chamber or something.
I didn't have a problem with it because the guy was on the chair and was working either way.
Right.
So whatever, it's what more advanced or what less advanced. That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I really did. But just rounds up the bad, right? Because but I really did feel like some of the characters were a little two-dimensional. They were more like game characters. Okay, eventually they're gonna make it out alive somewhat. They're not gonna die really. So I didn't really feel that kind of emotional weight to them, with the exception of one character, which was Mark Rylance's character. It's just because of the idea that well, for me, how I saw it, geek culture or pop culture is his life.
Yeah.
He has tried to reach out to other people, but it didn't work out well. But he just always found a place of belonging in this world.
Exactly. But putting him on the spectrum really informed the character. If he was just some Steve Jobs type douche, it wouldn't have worked at all.
Yeah, but I mean, you would understand why this world is so important to him.
Because it's him.
Yeah,
it's all him, and then all of it plays onto itself.
Yeah, So I'm sorry, he's like the best character in the
By
whole show.
far.
I totally agree with you.
He's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
So
get to the
good. Get to the good. Obvious out of the way.
Gundam.
Ah, boy. Gundam.
Okay, so the
Gundam,
good. They
Gundam.
do I like how they do the references. Everything they can afford, they bring it in. And listen, I'm a big nerd. And I kind of noticed pretty much almost all of this. I sure it had some post in the background I missed, but you get to see everything. You get to see Beetlejuice.
There was some, but the beauty about this movie here is that it kind of requires you to watch this movie again, smart bastards, because I didn't pick up on all the characters. I want to freeze frame and see.
Yeah, I'm sure I missed everything, but the nature of the film, the way how they shoot everything, I couldn't follow. I could have followed more or less all. It's like, oh, look Blanca, and hey, look Ryu.
I saw Ryu. I didn't see Blanca.
I saw Blanco.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I saw that. And then they had Chucky. Great.
Yes.
And then they had
brilliant sequence with Chucky, by the way.
And then they did Marcus Phoenix's Lancer from the Gears of War franchise.
Yeah.
Because one character did that because he bought it.
Right.
Then
There was even a reference to Kraljet. I didn't even know about it until I watched a review.
Yeah, the Glade,
like,
right? I saw the Glade, yeah. When the guy did the fling the Glade, and I was like, great, bad.
Yeah.
Badass. I picked up almost all the geek shit. I think I could consider myself a quote-unquote geek enough to get it, but then that's kind of the point of the film, to not give a shit about stuff like that. But I picked up all of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed was cool.
Of course, yeah. His fight was cool. But
Yeah.
the three main set pieces here, all of which are are done in 3D animation.
Yes.
Well, sorry. Yeah, 3D animation, yes. It's more like live action animated style this film is, right? Those three sequences all were excellent, though. I love the car chase. I love the obstacles there. But I do agree with you, the way how Parsifal solves it is kind of like, okay.
My problem is that somebody else would have figured out faster. Because it's not something they could solve. But then again, it makes some sense. But somebody else would have just tried that.
Right.
And it would have, I find was weird, but whatever, I accept it.
Right.
But what's cool about these sequences is not the nature of the Oasis itself, but you get to see how the Oasis work backwards.
Yes.
So you get to see, when he was doing it, you get to see, oh, this is when Godzilla just come up. Not Godzilla, who it was?
King Kong.
The T-Rex.
The T-Rex from Jurassic Park, which was a nice touch, by the way.
And I don't think that Spielberg did that smart. He avoided most of his stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple things, all right, that is yours, all right, maybe that is it. But no E.T., no Close Encounters, no Jaws. Think about it.
Even threw in Last Action Hero, which was a movie that Alan Silvestri scored, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they get a sequence of Kong that was kind of clever.
Yeah.
And then they do in my opinion, the best sequence of the movie.
Oh,
other people
my God.
find this contrived, but I thought it was brilliant and really well done. This is when a little room with his room.
Room 237.
237 reference.
The shining sequence. That entire sequence. Swear to God.
Yeah.
Jaw went on the floor.
Yeah,
I went crazy. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking awesome. I love this. I love this.
I thought this was
the
very,
music,
very clever.
Dude, from the moment that they enter into the room where freaking Jack Torrance was typing, it looks like a shot-for-shot recreation of that one white shot. I was like,
right. So what I like about it, you're seeing the digital characters, and then you're watching the scene, and it's like, wait, it's the same.
It looks the same. It looks like the same film
grain, yeah.
Grain, yeah.
Like, wait, it's the same grain and coloring scheme.
Yeah,
oh shit,
he so amazing.
Just replicating, one of his contemporaries.
Yeah, and
what we talk about Kubrick, right?
It's great too because Kubrick and Spielberg were great friends.
Yeah.
Actually, the movie AI, Artificial Intelligence, that was a movie that Kubrick was working on before.
He died,
before he even did Eyes Wide Shut. Right. But unfortunately, he couldn't do it because he died, and then he just. Well, Spielberg was like, all right, I got to do this in tribute to you, and that's it, right? The rest is history.
Yeah.
But I thought that moment was incredible, really well and they replicate certain scenes, like when you went into room 27 and you saw that chick. Yeah. I love how they do that.
Yeah. But the two girls,
the two girls, come play with us, Danny. The blood scene, oh gosh, the labyrinth, the snow, the icy labyrinth scene, they do that. The gold room, I was like, holy shit, they're doing the gold room. Although they kind of lose me near the end of that, but I was like, all right, well, this is your own spin on it.
They changed up the second with the whole zombies thing, and it had nothing to do with the movie itself. Because I think he had to solve a problem with the movie. Nope. Right. It was to do with Holiday, and I like that.
Yes, and they use the music from the film. Yeah. They use that song that is playing in the gold room. Yeah. They even have that last shot of the photo of that party from 1923.
And they link it to Holiday.
Yeah, they link it back. I was like, wow. But the money shot, of course, I'd admit, was that final battle sequence where it's just a shit ton of characters just
Yeah, everybody
collide.
comedy
It was just
characters.
amazing. And I wish that I knew a majority of the characters here, but I was
No,
like, all right, I know
I-
you, I know you, I know
And
you.
I pick up pretty much everything. The one
When I
thing
see
I thought,
Mechagodzilla, I was like, holy
Of course.
shit.
no, the
Oh,
one thing,
go in there.
one thing I didn't expect was the Terminator 2 reference, which is pretty awesome. Iron Giant, when the Iron Giant died.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
I clapped for that. I
Yes.
clapped for that. I
Yeah.
was like, yes, that we
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. I had fun with this. Well,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of characters from video games I saw. It's like, okay, this girl from Overwatch and this girl from blah, blah, blah. And, da, 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 da. And I pick up pretty much everything.
Yeah, they even had like one of the new Ninja Turtles from like
Right,
the
yeah. They
70s
showed,
movies.
we saw all of them actually. A lot of
Okay.
people was kind of hating on that. I remember some friends was like, hey, they hate the old, the new Ninja Turtle design, but whatever.
Yeah, but
of
for
course,
me-
the DeLorean, you get to see
Of
that
course,
in
yeah.
action,
And
multiple
Akira,
scenes.
no, Kaneda's bike from
Right, and
Akira.
right. That's which she knew Artemis. She had
Yeah,
that, right? Cool.
which is funny too because they always even like George Lucas and Spielberg himself
Yeah.
felt that Akira the movie
Yeah.
was you can't remake that film, it's unfilmable,
Right.
And look, they actually recreate the bike. I was
Right.
like, holy shit, look. But yeah, to me, this is like the strength of the movie, not just the visual. Because
Yeah.
the visuals are
Very good.
superb,
Yeah.
spectacular in my opinion. Couple of moments where some character touches, some designs weren't really all that,
Yeah.
but I still really fuck with everything. The lighting, the
Yes.
design, the texture of these characters, superb, right?
Yeah.
The world that these characters live in, great as well.
Yeah.
Although, but I mean, I guess if you're like a diehard gamer, you would pick up. Okay,
I
this is where
picked
the
up
set is.
most,
This
right.
is where the set designs are from.
I pick
that-
up like when I saw Marcus Phoenix's gun. I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that is the Lancer from Gears of War. Great.
Okay,
Awesome.
Didn't pick up on that, but for
Yeah.
me, I
That's
don't
when,
need to know
who
these
had
things.
that? I think it was Artemis.
Yeah.
Get the gun cheap. Because you remember you had to spend money on bullshit.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
they had a nice little reference to Robert Zemeckis, I think.
Actually, good thing that you
The
mentioned that
Zemeckis
because
Cube. Why they call it that?
I wonder, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But for me, this movie does feel like a Robert Zemeckis movie.
Yes,
like,
it's no,
like
I'll
Pole
straight up say
Express,
it
those
is.
kind of
It
shows.
is Spielberg going full Zemeckis.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like.
Full
I agree.
Zemeckis, yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
But it also reminds me of a movie that I actually really enjoyed from Spielberg. Was this the last time he really worked with computer animation? The Adventures of Tintin,
Right,
from 2011.
right, yeah.
First movie I saw in IMAX. Loved that movie.
Yeah.
And just seeing him return to that was just amazing. But
Yeah.
he just goes ape shit crazy with the visuals. This is just this is like a visual feast. This is like a
Yeah.
nerdgasm, right?
Agreed.
Even though people will argue and say it's too reliant on references, like every shot is a reference, and
No.
maybe too much. But I think that's
No,
the
I
point.
find it
works.
serves its purpose because the whole point of it is that they say, okay, you have this character, you do it because it's just this is what a person just doing. It does not, you don't have to realize the character okay, right? You see Beetlejuice in the same scene with Goro from Mortal Kombat.
I love that. I love
And
that you
it's-
saw
yeah.
girls. Like,
And then,
holy
then
shit.
they do a reference to Goro from Mortal Kombat, and then they do to the face hugger structure.
Yeah, from Perkins, yeah.
Clever,
Yeah.
funny, simple.
Yeah.
Last little piece before where they do so they decided to do the Scott Pilgrim thing.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh
and-
yeah.
But I like the reveal of who the character was that allowed for that to happen.
Yes,
And
at the end.
I thought all of that really folds together. And the end sequence of the movie is very sweet and really well done. With when you learn what Holiday was all about.
Yes.
And then they had a like interesting kind of reveal. It's like, wait, is the real Holiday dead? And he said, yes. So what are you exactly? And he's like, and he does
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
does say anything
Yeah.
work out. So it's implied what is an AI, is a virtual intelligence. What's going on there?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Now, one thing though, just slight little nitpick, but maybe I just need to watch it again because I really do want to.
Yeah.
It does rely a lot on like the nature of games itself.
Right.
Especially because it's three games that encompass this quest.
Right.
So if you go in not knowing anything about especially old school games, you wouldn't really pick up on the whole thing. But you may have to kind of dig in a little bit deeper to pick up on it.
It's all that is geek shit. So is
Yeah.
anything that you know, like
Especially like with the last, like
Right.
finding the last key,
So,
I was
okay,
like,
so
okay,
for me,
well,
the
that thing,
the end
okay, I
sequence-
kind of get, but I kind of don't.
No, okay.
I
The
don't
whole
know the
point
game.
the whole point of this
Yeah.
is it's the first Easter egg ever.
Right, I
But-
get that,
and-
but it's how they figured it out and how
Right.
they went about it. I
It's
was
nerd
like,
thing. It's nerd shit. It's nerd shit. It's stuff
I
that-
wish I knew these things.
Nah, yeah, it's nerd shit. You don't have to care about it. You just it's the book and the book had it and it's like okay,
Right.
that's how they solve it.
But I just
Blah, blah.
worry that might confuse people. You know,
Not
that
really.
they're
It's just
really
a
supposed
total-
to understand it, but
It's a
I
total
don't get it.
romantic. That's what I'm saying. It's a total romanticization of geek culture. So all these people who keep referencing Pac-Man and Adventure and all these old Atari 2600 games and all this stuff.
Yeah,
That is a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets into the idea of you're not supposed to beat the game. You're supposed to do this part that have nothing to do with the beating of the game.
Yeah.
Just get anything to find the answer. Is as a side effect. I get all of that. That works to me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Now, last things last before we get to rate it,
Yeah.
we forgot the most important thing here. Spielberg himself.
Yeah.
He comes through, and I mean, at this point in time, you know he's gonna come through great here. But for me, you could tell it was challenging. You could tell it was a challenge for him to kind of work out especially new ways to see
The logic, yeah.
the logic and the action
You
sequences.
could tell
in
he
particular.
tried, but he didn't try
But
enough.
I felt for the most part he did a solid job, especially
Yes.
with the car chase scene, for example, the way how the camera moved and how
Yeah.
you got a full scope of everything. I love that. You could tell that he put effort, maybe not too much, but I'm not saying that he half-assed it like that,
Right.
but maybe he just needed somebody else's system. I'm not saying maybe somebody like James Cameron
Right.
would have done it
That's
better.
that's what people are
But
saying. But
our warning also too
people are saying
maybe
that
is
with all-
because of the because he was working on another movie, the post at the same time.
Right.
Or,
He
you
just
know,
wanted to
maybe
just
it was
get us
just
out of the way.
yeah, maybe it was just
I
he just
felt,
needed more time to
I
sit
felt,
down
yeah, I
and
felt
work
he
certain
kind of
things
checked
out.
out. I felt he kind of checked out of this movie. He didn't really like put the effort he could have, especially with some of the action sequences. They could have been a little more clever. They were wild, cool, but
Right.
they weren't clever.
Right.
They were just
Agreed.
a straightforward brawl now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's it. Okay, well, the Iron Giant just fought Metagonzilla, and that's cool enough, I suppose.
Yeah. And I won't go out of my way to say that, oh, well, Spielberg was the wrong choice for a movie like this.
Nah.
Maybe he needs somebody younger.
Nah.
But
He's perfect.
he best
Exactly.
personifies
Because
that.
he is the arbiter of a lot of this shit anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
In terms of pop culture. So I thought he had to say, okay, what he gonna add to this? Because he had nothing to say about Overwatch or anything like that. What he has to add to this, and then when you get into Halliday's character, then you understand what the ending point is.
Yeah.
Which is about your person and how you manifest yourself through life and why it is you care.
Yeah.
The movie is not as close to the book in terms of like why you should care and whatnot, because it had a big message that was different, I think. But for the most part, it works. I really enjoyed this.
I enjoyed it for the most part, not as much as I wanted to, but it did what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It gave me a visual eye candy, it gave me multiple gasms. Even though I wish I got more characterization
Yeah.
and more to the story from an emotional perspective, I do see the heart, I do see the love that they put into this
Right.
thing. It's like this, like you say, a big gigantic love letter
Yeah.
to pop culture in general. And I mean, I can't hate on the film for that.
Right.
You know? Despite its flaws.
Right, so my rating.
What is your rating?
I guess that's a high movie, Tom.
Okay, I thought you were going to say like a low IMAX. I think it's one of those
Nah.
shows you want to see on IMAX.
High movie, Tom. As in, just a general rating. Of course, you go see it, IMAX, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Big and blow up. But I'll give it a high movie, Tom. It really faltered in terms of the world building. A lot of it didn't make sense. But whatever.
Yeah.
I just had fun. I had a lot of fun with this. And again, when they got into what Mark Rylance's character was all about, that was the nice bow on the film that really pulled everything together, in my opinion.
Of course. And it's a Spielberg movie, so you need that emotional
Right.
center. And he was that
They
emotional
did the
center.
Willy Wonka thing quite well, but they did it very, very solid. And I couldn't get myself to hate this in any workable sense. The beginning of this, the first act is pretty bad in my opinion. Like I really wasn't feeling that first act. But when they got into when they got to that shining position, especially that point is shining.
Okay, it took you that long to get into it. All right.
Yeah. Well, when they did the whole the whole backward racing thing, I was like, well, somebody else could have figured out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, this is how they do it. And then it's like, wait, they didn't figure out who Parsifal is yet. How come they should have do that like one time though?
Mhm.
Like whatever, fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, I was just more into the world and trying to figure out the logics of the world.
And
before.
a lot of never made sense. At least as the movie put it. Because I judge the book on its own way, but I'm not going to use the book's information. It fill this up. And the book is not very well written. I'm going to straight up say that.
So, I heard a lot of people say that too.
Because it over-explains bullshit. No? And it's too much geek nonsense. No? It's geek crap that they could have cut. No?
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Well, for me, I will give this a very light 4 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
I would go out of my way to say it's one of the best movies of the year, but I will say it is one of the most entertaining movies I've seen for 2018 thus far. This needs to be seen on a big screen. This needs to be. I saw it in 3D actually, and it was money well spent in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, this needs to be seen on a big screen. Please don't wait till it come out on torrent and be like, oh, what's Ready Player One? It looks awesome, man. See it on the biggest screen you can, and you'll just have so much fun picking out Easter egg after Easter egg, reference after reference.
Yeah.
You might not really care for the characters that much, but just seeing all your favorite characters from from decade after decade in this one movie, I mean, is like a nerd's dream come true, Jen.
Yeah.
And that to me is really what Ready Player One is about. Sure, it's not perfect, but it comes close to. So
Nice.
yeah, 4 to 5 seems fair to me.
Cool.
All right, so Ricardo, where can we find you online?
All right, so you could find me Passat RMEDDY on Twitter. That is at RMEDDY on Twitter, and then just type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook. You should find me right there.
All right. I am not on the Oasis at the moment,
No.
but you could find me on Twitter as well. You could look for Legally Black MJB. MJB in capital letters. You could also find me on Facebook. Just look for Machibili, as well as a Legally Black blog official fan base, where you find the link to this podcast here, as well as the others that we've done over the past couple of years.
Right.
Also, still trying out the Stardust thing. Just need to really try to perfect the art of 30-second movie reviews. I just can't do it right now. And also on Instagram, you can find me if you just look for Machibili Reviews. So, you can just check that out, subscribe, follow me, and yeah.
Right.
All right, so stuff to look forward to.
Well, tomorrow, at the time of this recording,
yes,
we're going to have the premiere, from our understanding, of the Black Magic Pocket Part 2, or Black Magic Pocket 4K. So I'm pretty excited for that. Although from the little pictures, I see it looking kind of ugly. But whatever. And I can't see how it could be called a pocket anymore because it's kind of big. But whatever.
I don't know. It's probably...
Whatever. I just excited. I just excited where they're going to go with that tech. So cool.
Right. Also, other movies to look forward to this month. There is Blockers.
Yeah.
Hearing pretty good things about Blockers.
I was planning to see that coming into, because I think it's showing already.
Well, not yet. It hasn't come out down here yet. Just off the first trailer, I was worried that it's going to call this movie Cock Blockers, but I'm glad they actually call it Blockers. But whatever. I just want to see if John Cena could do comedy. I mean, I seen him do action. It didn't work. Nah. The Marine hated it. But I want to see him do comedy. And then on the flip side, Dwayne Johnson is Rampage, which I'm not too excited for that.
The movie I might want to see is I think it's Baji or Baggy.
Is that Indian movie that they show in Movie Town that has this action hero kind of poster thing?
It's so ridiculous and over the top. So
I need to watch the trailer for that. I hear the trailer is bad.
The trailer is hilarious. Bro.
Yeah,
I want to see that. Whatever.
And then of course, last but not least, even though we have to wait until May the 2nd to see it. The Infinity War, boy. The movie that might change everything, boy. We might be different people after this trip. We might be different.
It looking pretty badass. As I say, well, enough people making the jokes of whether or not it's Black Panther. They call it Black Panther 2 already, or Black Panther and Friends. But
I think Black Panther 2 will be coming up soon.
Yeah. But anyway, this looks great. The big debate is whether or not it's going to make as much money as Black Panther. I think it will. But if it doesn't, I won't be that surprised.
Right.
Because Black Panther kind of markets itself.
Of course, yeah.
To be more akin to Avatar than a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Agree.
So that's it.
Right. Yes, that's pretty much about it. So once again, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen. This was Matthew Bailey and
Ricardo Medina.
And we are signing off from another episode of BSB to Bailey. So until next time, take care. Peace.